Hey, Roaring. Jeg har en turf and in Tom's penis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live, Schmodown Entertainment Network. It's May the 4th. Enjoy yourselves, Star Wars maniacs. It is May the 4th, and what a show we're going to have here today, because there's a lot of material to talk about today. And Charlotte, it's nice to see everyone. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's be honest, nobody knows what the weekend or what the hell it is anymore anyway. But nonetheless, a lot to talk about today because we had the Clone Wars series finale. It wrapped up. And the Mandalorian, the gallery, I think it's called, focused on the directors of the Mandalorian. That just that aired as well. And joining me, Star Wars aficionado. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
hearing. Look at that camera.
Yeah.
Camera looks good.
Yeah. Should I just do this? Should I do
Look at that thing.
This is the off.
What is a tuft?
The tuft
What is that
at
thing?
home is
Oh.
like, and now I did it for Roxy's show. Lonnie makes me like kind of slick it back and put it to my head, and it kind of actually looks like a haircut.
It looks like you have a hair, yeah.
Yeah, but this is a
It's a disaster is what it is.
yeah, that's nice.
Absolute disaster.
I don't know, I might stick with that today.
All right. Well, it's good to have everyone here because we are going to be breaking down this thing. It's non-spoiler, by the way, for Clone Wars because what I decided I was going to be doing, and I think I posted this on the Schmodown, the SEN Facebook group, and I posted it out on Twitter. I'm going to start trying to do a few reviews. Although I was going to try to do Blade Runner, but Netflix took the final cut off.
Oh, kidding.
Dude, last night I was sitting down to watch it after I finished the Clone Wars. I'm like, you know what? Now I'm going to finish Blade Runner, and it's gone. So you fucks. I have it here. I have to go and
put a disc in a machine.
Put a disc in a machine, but I have to go
like
and find it.
A poor person.
But I was so bummed. I was was like, okay, I'm just going to sit on my couch. I'm going to finish Blade Runner, and I was not able to do that, Brett. It's a bummer. Anyway, but there's so much to talk to you guys about today, and I'm pretty pumped about it.
Pretty pumped.
But stop making screams. Stop screaming and yelling. You know why you do it. You were screaming and yelling because you were cutting yourself when you're trying to shape your balls. Don't do that. I've told you a million times over, and I'm going to tell you again. Manscaped. Manscaped is going to turn the screaming and the cuts and all that stuff. It's going to be gone. You're going to start getting very excited and make nice noises. That's what you need to do. I was over it. I was over cutting myself, and the second I knew that this thing existed, I got it because it makes a lot of sense. You got to take notes. Look, Manscaped accidents, they should be a thing of the past. No more. Get rid of them. No more cuts. No more nicks. With Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, it's their third-generation trimmer featuring advanced skin-safe technology, so you keep your bad boys nice and smooth. The Manscaped engineering team, they spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. We've been telling you about it. You guys have been leaving us reviews and how much you love it, and we love hearing it because it works. I'm telling you, it's premium. It's premium. Battery lasts up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. It's one of the coolest features I think that they have, though, is that LED light. It illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. And don't forget about the charging stand. You got to show off that mower. You got to show it off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand, it's a rapid charging dock, and it's powered by USB. A lot of people have been talking about it, have been telling us about it, how much they love it. No pictures. You can send it to your loved ones. They'll like that. But you got to try it out. Try it out yourself. And same deal, 20% off and free shipping. But you got to use the code SEN20 at manscaped.com. Your balls are going to look up and say, thanks, Dad. Get 20% off and free shipping with the SEN20 at manscaped.com. One more time, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. But you got to use the code SEN20 because Brett loves when I say it. Your partner, your dick, and your balls.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you've been using this
what
too,
a
right?
tag, man.
It's a good one.
Oh, no. legit have been using it, and it is nice.
It's the best.
Yeah,
it's really good. Okay.
Nice to feel fresh.
It just feels real fresh. Going to be taken.
The Hotel Nerd Network donated $20.
What happened here?
Listened to Friday's show and heard the concerns of me being quiet. Had to make money to war with Lawrence. Christian, did you listen to the HNP timestamp I sent you and Brett from the last episode? Also, Bonnie crushed it on Blue Bloods last Friday.
Yes, she did. And why didn't your thing come out? It read it, but it didn't show it.
Overlay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's my overlay though. Where's, All right, we'll have to do it again.
And what did we miss, or what did we see?
I don't know. I have to look back in there. But what I will say is, Bonnie. I did watch Bonnie on Blue Bloods. It was fun to see because her and Tom Selleck were both on Friends. And they both.
Oh, that's right.
And they both dated the Gellers.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there together and had a few scenes. The scene. Bonnie played.
Tim Sim donated $20.
That one worked.
Just dropping by to say thanks as I'm very busy this week.
Thank you, Tim.
Before discussing the series finale, is Clone Wars considered as of today one of the best animated series in the history of television?
I think it's up there from the type of storytelling that was done, and I think the way that it furthers the lore of Star Wars overall. I think it should be considered. When we'll get into and I want to have a discussion with all you guys, and I will be, like I said before, though, with the reviews, I'm going to be doing a full spoiler discussion on the entire season, and I'm going to try to get that out later today. I'm going to shoot it today, but try to get it edited and out later on today. So the review that Brett and I give today will not be spoiler. It will just be our non-spoiler thoughts on the actual series finale that aired last night. But as far as it being one of the best animated,
_._21_Jelly Watts donated $20.
Oh, okay.
I lost my mind the other day while trimming up with my lawnmower and shaved my entire body from the neck down.
Look at you.
No cuts and nice and smooth all over.
Oh, see, I miss the Manscaped Schmobots.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good Manscaped Schmobots, and it's every time we do a read, there's all these.
Lawrence Lease donated $20. Huge shout out to Will Rogers Foundation for helping me financially during this crisis.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Well, that is pretty great. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for doing that. Lawrence, you're the man, by the way. Lawrence Lee it's Lawrence and Hotel Nerd who get into their battles.
Yeah, they battle.
They battle. So yeah, Tim, I think as far as it being one of the best, I think it should be in the discussion. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely. All right, Brett, let's do it. Let's talk about the first thing I want to talk about here is oh no, that is not the first thing I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is news that came in that I saw today that if no one's tweeted this to me so far, and I'm very, very disappointed in everyone. Gary Busey is going to be in a new series on Amazon.
What?
He's going to be a judge for pets. He's going to basically, like People's Court, but for like pet cases. Are you kidding me?
And they've already shot this.
I got the announcement about it today. Someone emailed it to me.
Please tell me it's already shot because I don't want to wait.
I think it's already coming out. I think it's coming out soon. I think it's coming out in May this month. And it's like, I'm going to be reviewing this every episode. Are you kidding?
We're going to have to start a sideshow.
Tell me about your turtle and why he's not sitting on my head during this deposition.
Lawrence Lease donated $20. Hotel Nerd will never win. I know has in cahoots with Zofflert and Flaus.
He is in cahoots.
All right, so you're trying to tell me that horse next to you cannot speak? I believe he can, and I believe the donkey sitting next to me has the power of Christ.
I wonder if we have Whiskey and Lulu on.
Whiskey and Lulu have been in cahoots with each other since the beginning of time, before they were actually even in animal form. They were pieces of toast, and Lulu was an avocado.
Are you kidding me? Sign me up for that show just to watch it. Yeah, has no one heard about this yet?
The Hotel Nerd Network donated $20.
Yes.
Fair warning, I'm gonna try to break you and Brett.
Okay.
It will either break you or confuse the hell out of you. Other way should be fun.
Works for me.
I will break you.
Oh, I believe it. I believe that everyone here is an animal.
But Judge Busey, there are no animals in the court.
You cannot prove it. We're all animals. It says it.
Yeah. Well, yes, but as far as actually being,
we all have 4 legs.
Well, no, we have 2 arms and 2 legs.
You do not know understanding. Understanding.
Scruffy Nerd Herder
is saying the
donated
scruffy
$20.
no herd.
There is no emotion.
Nope.
There is peace.
Yes.
There is no ignorance.
Yes.
There is knowledge.
Yes.
There is no passion.
Right.
There is serenity.
Yes.
There is no chaos.
No, there's not.
There is harmony.
Yes.
There is no death.
Yes.
There is the Force.
Thank you.
May the Fourth be with you all.
You too.
Yes.
Stroke it.
Stroke
it. Stroke your cock.
You're lately just been saying the most random.
Stroke it.
You're right.
The most lovely thing in all of Star Wars. Thank you, sir. Stroke your cock. It's like everything that Star Wars is all about. The beauty, the love. Thank you, sir. Stroke your cock.
Every time something like this happens, I see you pitching this to Skybound. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna say something nice, and I'm gonna say stroke your cock.
Lawrence Lee donated $20. Cahoots. See, I got you. You thought I was going to repeat it.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
See, you didn't repeat it. Well done. Well done. You play with me, you fuck. Stroke your cock. Stroke it. All right. Listen,
guys.
let's get into this shit. Everybody,
Shit.
Become a bird. And if you do not become that bird, I will put you in jail with the other chipmunks and squirrels that I've violated. I mean, or had violations from. Stroke it.
I need to know what this is. It like, oh, your dog bit my dog?
I think it's like people's court with animal cases, and he's like the presiding judge.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of this is a fucking genius.
Oh yeah.
A genius.
The old take my money now.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I am on board for that.
Yeah.
I am on board, and I cannot wait.
That's the kind of ridiculous we need to take our
It
mind
is.
off of things.
Speaking
right
of ridiculousness, before we get into the Clone War things, we're gonna do that right now. How about that?
Love it.
Yeah. So if you guys have not
Lawrence
seen,
Lee donated
hello, Lawrence.
$20.
Thank you.
Fuck you, Christian. Yep, you got me.
Lawrence Lee said, "Fuck you, Brett," to me. That's true, Lawrence. Thank you. So this design here by Attack Peter, it is amazing, and the fact that so many people have already went out there, gone and got it, because it's only available, I think, until the 8th, midnight. So really all of the 7th. So you only have really about 4 more days to get this thing. The link is in the description on how to get it. You can get a T-shirt, you can get a sweatshirt, you can get a coffee mug, iPhone case, the poster. We're going to get the poster for sure and hanging out here, but it's amazing.
Aren't there different
The Hotel
size of
Nerd
prints
Network
too?
donated $20. Hallo, ik verzoek das van Mucklish auf Deutsch zu machen. Der Versuch den Schmobot dazu zu bringen eine andere Sprache als English. Hello, I am trying to make this in German if possible.
Oh.
Trying to make the Schmobot speak a language other than English.
Well,
It worked pretty good. That sounded very German.
sounded German.
I knew some of those words.
Newsom. All right, let's talk about. I am going to shut the Schmobot off just for a second here because I want to get into the actual review of the Clone Wars, and then we'll open it up. So if you guys have things you want to talk about for the show itself or anything else, you want us to make the Schmobot talk in German, you can do it. But I'm going to turn it off for now. Here's the review of the Clone Wars series finale. Now, leading up, remember that this is. I thought that this season, the first 4 episodes were really well done. I thought even the Ahsoka arc was fine. I just didn't understand how it was going to tie everything together, and I thought that in a regular season, then those episodes would have been fantastic. But I was like, well, where's the lead up? We got to tie into everything else here in lore. When are we doing it? And these last 4 episodes have done that. You got to watch these 4 episodes as a full. It's a movie. It's a full movie.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware of that because even I'm going to watch them all again because if you compare this episode to last episode, I think that you could say that this episode, if you compare them, is a little underwhelming compared to the last episode. That happens a lot with season finales, though, and series finales. It's usually the one right before the big one that all the major juice happens, and this is the wrap up of all of it. There is one particular thing that is happening, and it's like an adventure that needs to happen or something needs to happen, and that's what we're following. I think that if you go into it thinking, okay, well, all these storylines that I had from in these past like six or seven seasons, they're all going to come to a head here. It's not what this episode is about. This episode is wrapping up this 4-episode arc, and then there's a cool thing that happens that I think that ties stuff together, or it definitely has some real emotion to it. But yeah, there's I think that you have to watch this as a full. You have to appreciate this episode as a movie, a 4-episode movie, and do not look at it as a standalone episode, because I think that you couldn't be underwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
Oh, I think I gotta go watch a lot. I mean, I do agree with people that maybe are saying that you gotta kind of catch up to this.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
These are, I can see if the other ones weren't so great that these are definitely.
Someone yelled
a
at
lot
me in the
going
comments,
on.
which I'm used to, and someone says, "Stop telling people to watch it at this point, because that's like saying to watch Breaking Bad." I mean, it's what I'm telling you. Someone like Brett, who is not a hardcore Star Wars fan, or is going to get, or doesn't have all the time to lock into these seasons, can you watch these last 4 episodes and help you? You know, if you're not going to be like a hardcore fan of all the material, can you watch this and still know what's going on? The answer is yes.
And it tells a story.
Yes. Should you watch all of the episodes if you can? Absolutely. If you can watch all of Clone Wars, it's a great show. So you should, if you can find the time to watch all 7 seasons, you should do this, especially now that you're invested in these characters. What I was just saying is that if you watch this arc, there's stuff that you remember from the actual movies that you go, oh, that's cool. And it makes you, but like you just said, by watching it this way, makes you want to go back and watch more of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I would not recommend watching these 4 episodes to like a hardcore Star Wars fan that has always had the intention to watch. Like, same thing. Attack Peter, I told him, if he wants to kind of go into the movies, just some certain events that happen in the movies, you could watch these. But I always recommend to people to watch it in chronological order, the way that it's intended to be. But I thought Ashley Eckstein did an incredible job once again as Ahsoka Tano. I think this is the story that Filoni wanted to tell. These are the things that he wanted to do, that he wanted to break down. He was able to do it finally. I think that there are some good tie-ins to other materials in general throughout this 4-episode arc, and in this last one, there's definitely some tie-ins. I'll just say, to Rebels. I would say that. That's not really a spoiler. I think that there are things, though, that if you are a fan of Rebels, it takes away a little bit of the suspense, because certain things are going to happen anyway. But if you never watched Rebels, then you probably didn't go into it with that. But I think that's one of the things, though, that Filoni always said he wanted to end it a certain way, that he, you wouldn't know. It's hard to say without spoiling things. I guess I'll go more in depth when I do the spoiler review today. But I don't know.
Yeah, I keep going. What about when? No.
Yeah, there's certain things. But I really liked what I saw overall in these last 4 episodes. I thought it was a nice close. I would have liked to feel like there's a scene in episode 11 that I've watched like 5 times. It's just between the music and the emotion and everything about it. It's just such great Star Wars, and I was hoping for more moments like that in the finale. But I realized that's when I started to say, well, you got that already in this movie. It's like saying, oh, I wish I would have got another. This is the end of that movie. It's the continuation of what happened for these 4 episodes. All 12 of these episodes are like 3 mini movies. That's
okay.
Because the first one are 4 episodes, second one's 4 episodes. Now, if you compare those, the last 4 episodes are the best movie. I would say that the Bad Batch 4 episodes is the second best, and then the Ahsoka and the sisters arc are probably is the third, and that was fine. That one, I just didn't know. It was just a rediscovering of where Ahsoka Tano is. But I thought they did it right. And what they did with these 4 episodes at the end was, you got to remember when Roxy came in here after this thing had debuted, and she hadn't watched Clone Wars before, and she watched this first one, and now I get it because I hadn't seen it yet, and she watched this one. She's like, it was fine, but I don't really get it all the way through. And I was like, well, this if you're pop, and that's kind of another reason for that person who was yelling at me about telling people to not watch it, because if you're a non-Star Wars fan, not a non-Star Wars fan, if you don't know the lore and you haven't watched a lot of the Clone Wars, I would have suggested to Roxy if she was going to watch one episode, not watch all of it, then she should have started with episode like 9.
Yeah.
And then
that's where I started, right?
That's where you started.
Yeah.
You started with 9. If you would have started with 1, I think you would have been kind of lost.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who are these characters? Who are these people? Ahsoka, you've heard enough about. It ties into other things that are going on. But yeah, it's a really good ending, I think, overall. So I'm very curious.
There's
what you
one
guys,
scene that also we also watched the documentary that they showed in the documentary. Is that an homage to Mandalorian, or is it kind of? Or does that happen a lot?
There's stuff.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. What? Let's see. I'm gonna mute Brett's mic for a second and mine, so you guys can't hear me, and I'll let him just say. Oh yeah, that's in. Yeah, that. I mean, there is. There's something there is something that happens in Mandalorian that happens in this too. You don't have to really.
I didn't know if that was something that happens a lot, or if that was just kind of like, is this something that's showing?
Yeah, maybe. But there are some. Look, there are a lot of ties, and I think there's some stuff that I will again break down a little later with my spoiler review about why I think that there's some things that happen in this last 4 episodes that will absolutely be relevant to the Mandalorian. And certainly were relevant to other things that happened. So, yeah, great stuff. There's a Star Wars marathon on TBS today. All of the movies are on Disney+. Rise of Skywalker dropped.
Yeah.
You going to watch it?
Yeah, but I told Blake this morning, I was like, dude, we can finally watch it tonight.
Yeah,
so he was pretty happy about
it. It dropped today, so that's on there too. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm taking the Schmobot is back on, everybody. So I do want to hear your thoughts overall. Put them in streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. We are going to definitely take all your comments today. And then if there are Schmobots, but it's streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Have them come in. Have them come in. It is May the 4th. So anything you want to say about Star Wars, anything you want to talk about with Star Wars today?
Salad Von Bako donated $20.
Hey, buddy.
What a day. My favorite director Taika Waititi is co-writing and directing a movie in my favorite film franchise Star Wars, and Brett and Christian are especially bonkers as usual. I love it.
Wait, what?
Shitwads unite. May the 4th be with you all.
Wait, did I miss something?
Taika?
Did I miss something with Taika Waititi? Oh, there you go. That just came in.
This just in.
Thank you, Salad. All right, so Taika Waititi confirmed to helm a Star Wars film. It's official. Oscar winner Taika Waititi will direct and co-write a new Star Wars feature film for theatrical release. The franchise's official site made the announcement today, confirming rumors that have been swirling for months. He will be joined on the script by Oscar nominee Christy Wilson Cairns, 1917, Last Night in Soho. This won't be his first brush with the franchise. He directed the highly acclaimed the series
Lawrence
finale.
donated $20. Thanks for sharing my tweet the other day.
You got it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you
Stroke.
for everything. Stroke your con. Emmy-nominated writer Leslie Headland, Russian Dolls, also currently developing a new Untitled Star Wars series for Disney+, which she'll write, executive produce, and service
Damon
showrunner.
Zass donated $20.
Thank you, Damon Zass.
Being born on this day, I feel the Force is strong in me.
Yes.
But now that I'm 33, I think I should clean my act up. It's time for the Damon's joyful name to end. But not without my first Schmobot. May the 4th be with you.
To you
always.
as well. To you as well. That is, I love this news with Taika.
Patrick_KLG donated $20.
A lot of Force love.
Hey, Ring, what a great last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars. The finale really hit me. Incredible storytelling, visuals, and music. Love the Blade Runner vibe.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you, fuckos. Love you guys.
Thank you. Love you too. Yeah, man, it was great storytelling. It was great, and it really tied it up nice. The music, Kevin Kiner is a genius. I want him to score a feature film. But if we're talking about, in general, we're talking about people who are on board and understand what's going on in the realm of Star Wars. I think Taika is one of those guys.
Jake_Robles donated $20. Nicolas Cage will be playing Joe Exotic in a TV series, according to Jeff Snyder.
Good Lord.
According to Jeff Snyder.
No, but he
does know
He probably knows what's going down. Who's not going to watch that?
Yeah.
it's going to be ridiculous. And I don't think it's the best casting, but who
Eric
would watch
donated
that?
$20.
You guys are crushing.
No spoiler, but wow. For an ending, huh? Almost a decade in the making and I still was not ready for the ending.
Yeah.
Kevin Kiner delivering fantastic Star Wars score, best one behind Jay Williams.
Yep.
I'm still thinking about it and will for some time, I think.
Yeah, man. Kevin Kiner is a genius. He really is, and I don't think he gets enough love. I know he does. He does by Star Wars fans. I think by the hardcore Star Wars fans he does, but I don't think enough people know his name. I think that more people should, and I think he should be scoring one of these films. I don't understand why he's not. Maybe he's not allowed to. I don't know.
Yeah,
he should be scoring one of these films. I do not know why they have not asked him to. It's like it's one of these things to where I just feel it's like, well, he's not. He's not a film composer, so he's the best fucking Star Wars composer we've had since John Williams.
Lawrence Lee donated $20. Hey, hotel nerd, you're pretty quiet.
You tempted him.
I want to know what Taika's directing. How long is it going to take for us to figure out?
I don't know, but what I will tell you is this from watching, we'll break down this Mandalorian doc in a second here too, because Taika Waititi, they're sitting around in this room, all these directors, and listen to it. This documentary is fantastic, and I was so excited to hear that there's more than I thought. There was only one. There's only one episode, but there's 8 episodes. Because I said to Brett, I was like, "They're going to do anything on the acting?" He's like, "Oh, that's a full episode." I was like, "That's great." Because this is just the directing, and they obviously they give the love to all the great directors that worked on this thing, and then showing what like Favreau, and it was great to see Favreau go back to like that kind of dinner with five moments, because he's so good at that, and bringing that out of all his team here.
And you could tell that like they all enjoyed working together.
Yes.
I didn't get any weird vibes.
No.
It was like it was a fun work environment.
Yes, that was it. It should be fun to make Star Wars. It should be fun to talk about Star Wars, and that has been lost somewhere. It does not seem like it has been lost on this show. This is why I love talking about this show. This is why I love talking about Clone Wars, because the fun is still there. And it seems to me that there's so much fun, and when you saw the segment of Taika Waititi is a fucking rock star, by the way. He's a rock star director. You can see it with his hair and everything. There's something about the guy. He's just got that it thing, and when he walks into a room, people want to be around him. And I think it was Giancarlo Esposito who said he's fun. But you can also tell he's serious. He can take it seriously, and he knows what he's working on. And I loved what Favreau said. Favreau said he makes fun with the story. He doesn't make fun of the material. He never makes fun of it. He makes fun with it. And when I was like, that's right. Like stuff like that. I think a lot of times that gets lost when there's these silly jokes that have sometimes I felt that don't feel like Star Wars humor.
Yeah.
In certain other things that I've seen. I didn't feel that in his. I felt it a little bit with the stormtroopers in the beginning. In the beginning of that of the finale, I felt it a little bit like they were going for like a Saturday Night Live kind of gag, and it was funny. But that was the only time I felt that there was. It felt like it was a little bit of like a goof.
And then the Sedaris character was.
But she wasn't. I felt like that character just felt out of place.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like the stuff that she was saying was out of place. It just felt like she was out of place.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was just a little too.
But that's a nitpicks.
Yeah,
total nitpicks. Like the having him and listening to
Big Mo Movie Review donated $20. These last 4 episodes of Clone Wars is why I love Star Wars so much.
Yeah,
the storytelling was on point. The score in episode 11 was possibly some of the best in all of Star Wars. Just give me more Star Wars like this, please. I want another animated show.
Yeah, I think we are. I think
the Hotel Nerd Network donated $20. Translate the CHST and at Brayets lay easy if I understand easy.
You know what it is?
Good shay be on fi experiment and on fiat bay or fiat they shaying bay fa botch mail way exp other language slay.
Yeah, that's what they call pig Latin.
Can you read it?
Oh yeah.
What does it say?
Ude exp. Oh, I can't read it from here, but yeah.
So when you have Taika and you're sitting around, you listen to these directors, and when you tell me that he's going to be now that he's done 2 episodes, and what they all said is stuff that Star Wars fans have been saying for years, is that you can hear it. And now you got it out of this too. Was how trusted Dave Filoni is with this stuff.
Oh yeah,
and how much he knows and what he knows, and his story about how I'm gonna turn the schmobot off for a second because we're gonna talk about this documentary. So when you hear about how he got his job with George Lucas, he's told that story before, and I feel like I feel like he told that story in an interview with us. I can't remember, but I've heard that story before, and it's a great story about how he got the job. And then he has always said, like. He learned, and not only did he learn all about Star Wars or more about Star Wars through George Lucas and the teachings through George Lucas, he learned like a lot of filmmaking through George Lucas, how George is always thinking in live action. And you even see George sitting next to him in some of this stuff and how close he is with George. Like that's, people tease that he's like the heir apparent. He is the guy. He is the glue there because Favreau is a phenomenal producer. He's a great producer. He's a great director. He's a great creative mind. Look what he did for the MCU in general. And it's because of his type of understanding. He was the one that wanted to work with Favreau and with Filoni because of the stuff that they had done on Clone Wars. And they told their story on how they wanted to be paired up together and had their whole conversation. But like, so he's got this mind, Favreau, of getting, they even say like the Magnificent Seven together but it's Filoni when you watch him and he's that glue there, and he's teaching you about storytellers. Even like the most experienced director that's coming in there is talking to this guy and listening to this guy about the mechanics of Star Wars, and you can tell that it bled into all of them. And you take a talent like a Taika Waititi and you give him that Filoni knowledge, which he got twice, and he'll probably get again in season 2 if he hasn't done it already. I'm not sure. I don't know who the directors are in 2. And we're going to see a phenomenal movie. We're going to see a great fucking movie out of this because you didn't like Ragnarok, right?
I did not like it.
It was too jokey?
I liked it. I just thought that it could have been dialed back a little joke. Yeah. I loved the character he voiced. So good. Yeah, the rock guy. Get out of here, Ghost.
Korg's so good. I get that criticism, and I heard it a lot too. And people always say to me, "Well, you liked Thor Ragnarok, but you thought Guardians 2 was too jokey."
Yeah.
I thought the characters fit the jokes in Ragnarok because I thought it was a choice because the second Thor was a little darker, and some people think it's the worst out of the entire MCU, and they wanted to go a completely different direction with it. And I felt like the characters that were telling the jokes, it fit.
For me, it was just too. A lot of them I wasn't able to process because they were too boom, 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 boom kind of a thing. I think some of them could have sat a little bit, and it was just a little.
I get it. I totally get the
criticism.
They were
funny. It was funny stuff, but it was just like after a while.
That's how I felt about Guardians 2. I felt like everybody had a joke, but either way. Anytime you have Taika Waititi doing something, you're going to have humor in it.
Oh yeah,
and you want humor in it. But I also think that his episode, that season finale of Mandalorian was one of the best ones that they did at all. So you're gonna have those moments throughout it of him being serious and also putting together great characters. So this is great. Now I don't know if he's doing one movie, if he's doing 2, or whatever it is. This is one that I am more confident that it'll stick, meaning that there won't be these problems, hopefully, of people trying to get involved in his shit and saying, okay, now, because we want you to do this, this, and this. When you bring him in, he's already involved in these movies with Marvel, and this will be a massive problem if something happens with Taika. Mm-hmm. If Taika Waititi is working on this movie and he leaves the project because, some people are meddling, then that's a problem because he didn't have those problems with Marvel. There's been none of those things have happened with him yet. So I don't think that that's going to happen at all. I think because of his relationship that he's had so far with Star Wars, this is a great opportunity for us as Star Wars fans. I think this is great to have him in there, and it's a smart move by them because he's beloved right now. He's got a lot of success in both Marvel and Star Wars already. He seems to be universally loved by most people in general. So, yeah, man.
Yeah,
so,
that's a teasy tease, boy. He's just going to direct a Star Wars film, and then
well, they're not telling us what it is because they don't have.
Do they even know? Do you think?
No, well, they probably know what he's working on. Yeah, but they're formulating a plan, this is what TV allows them to do. It allows them to formulate plans now because when they were they didn't have TV and they were putting out one movie a year, then it was like, what movie are you doing? I don't know. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. Okay, what about this one? I'm not sure. Should we get this one? Let's do a Boba Fett movie. Oh, should we do a Boba Fett movie? I don't know. It's because you have a year, and it's like, and there's all this pressure on them, and that's one of the things that I think, the immense pressure that is on everybody for Star Wars, because you see what happens, how passionate people are about it. So when you got to put out movies every year, then it's like, okay, announce this, get an Obi-Wan, and how about a Jabba the Hutt movie? This. And because you get scared and you don't know how to develop these movies, because you just go with Old Faithful stuff, and that's why Han Solo came out and all this.
Yeah.
But when you have the TV shows, and they have a big cushion because Mandalorian is beloved already by Star Wars fans. So they have a big cushion. They already have season 2 coming out. So they could put nothing out for 2 years, and they still have 3 years. They still have Mandalorian season 2 and 3 coming out. Star Wars fans would be completely happy. They'd be like, oh, is anything else coming out? No, I still got Mandalorian every year. They'd still be happy with that. Even with Clone Wars ending, they still have that. But Obi-Wan, now they have a little bit more time to develop the series. I'm a little skeptical about it, but I'm so less skeptical about it every time I hear Deborah Chow talk. Hearing her talk in that documentary and listening to her, I was excited after seeing her episodes that they brought her in for the entire series. But knowing, what I'm hoping, one of the reasons that Obi-Wan series, what I'm hoping is the series kind of got pushed back, and they brought in, they moved over the showrunner, and he's more of a writer on the series now. What I'm hoping is that, because Deborah Chow has worked in TV for a while, maybe she read the scripts and she said, well, I'd actually like to go in this direction. Can we go in this direction? Said, if she's the one that decided, and maybe working with Filoni, saying maybe we push in this direction, and that comes out, then I'm going to go, okay, well, good move then. I was just a little bit more skeptical that, there aren't any films, and now the film people are coming in and muddling their heads and their hands inside of it. But whatever it is, they have time to develop it. They're going to develop it a little bit more, and then that comes out in like 2021, 2022. So in all of that time, they have, and then there's this other series now. Is it an Ahsoka Tano series? Is it? Then you have Cassian Andor. That series is supposed to come out in 2021. So there's all this television now. So fans are going to be so hopefully happy with all the Star Wars content that they're getting on television, that there's a big comfort cushion now for the film to say, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
Let's develop. We got Taika in here. Let's develop this movie. We don't have Benioff and Weiss anymore. They're gone. But Taika's going to do this movie. They're excited about it. Kevin Feige's still supposed to be producing a movie. Maybe this is the movie that he's producing, because they work together. So maybe Feige is working on that movie with Taika Waititi. It would make sense. He kind of teased that somebody from Marvel was doing something. So maybe this is the thing that they're working on together. Maybe not. But it allows them a good cushion of 2 or 3 years if they wanted to. It's 2020 now, so it's 2020. Let's say they announce 2023. They'll probably announce, if they still do Star Wars Celebration. I assume they'd still do Celebration, maybe virtually, even if they don't do it live. But if they do it, they're going to start announcing a little bit more. They probably have this Ahsoka Tano official announcement come out, which would make a lot of sense. And then they'll probably talk more about this Taika thing. So this is it's all good news, and smart to do it today, obviously.
Yeah.
On May 4th. So I am turning on the Schmobot again. So if you guys want to chime in on it, but if there's other things that you want to talk about, what if you guys have watched the doc? Were the things that stood out to you on the documentary? What you like? To me, the stuff that stood out was for the Filoni stuff on how there was a moment, which is also
the Hotel Nerd Network donated $20.
Thank you.
Lawrence Lees is my Newman. Mind you, I hate Seinfeld, but it is what it is. I'm trying to break the bot, but I'm impressed it reads pig Latin fluently. Try this one. Cuyas ea natura exista modernivis Pennsylvania Hawk Weekend.
What the hell?
Whoa.
That was weird. Did it actually
Marshall Weeks donated $20. Demolition Man 2 in the works, says Stallone.
I saw that. I saw
hey,
that.
Brett.
I saw that. This is smart for Stallone to do right now. This is very smart for Stallone to do, because it's not going to cost a lot of money to make this movie. He can get Wesley Snipes probably for nothing now. Very smart to do. If you wanted to get Wesley Snipes back in, I know that his character, Simon says, if you wanted to get Wesley Snipes, you could. If there was a cloning or some kind of shit. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe just get somebody new. But Stallone was asked directly about the possibility of a sequel and surprised everyone with his answer. I think there is one coming. We're working on it right now with Warner Brothers, and it's looking fantastic. So that should come out. That's going to happen. The Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock-led film was set years in the future in a time when the franchise wars were over, and so every restaurant left standing was now a Taco Bell. It was also a society where 3 seashells are used in lieu of toilet paper. The film earned $159 million in its release. Oh, so this is the actual Stallone clip, huh? Oh, you couldn't play it. I guarantee. Do you remember who the president is during the Demolition Man?
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I guarantee you. Because they weren't. I don't know if they were friendly at that point. I guarantee you that if there's a sequel, Arnold makes a cameo as the president.
The Hotel Nerd Network donated $20. The last one was Latin and it read it correctly. Translation is: it is supposed to snow this weekend in Pennsylvania.
How about that? Look at that. That's awesome.
I do remember. Sandra Bullock in that one.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one where I really.
That was where she won you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Vin Diesel gives a 4th Riddick script update. People aren't as excited about those movies as I think he wants them to be. After nearly a year without an update, Vin Diesel has confirmed that a script for the Riddick franchise will arrive next week. Screenplay for the film was rumored to be finished last summer, but from the sounds of it has undergone some serious rewrites since then. Talk of a 4th film in the series has been cropping up for 5 years, with a 9-year gap between the 2nd and 3rd film. Is it 9? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Back in 2017, Diesel indicated it would be a hard, rated-R sci-fi horror thriller, though it's not clear if that's still the case. David Twohy co-writes and directs the film series, which began with the acclaimed Pitch Black back in 2000.
I haven't seen a Riddick. Are they?
Oh, the only reason I watched the last one because Katie was in it.
Oh, okay.
Katie had a big part in it.
Kay Parker's agent donated $20. Hey, Star Wars nerds. Kay Parker has a new Star Wars parody Bunnies movie up on Bunnies Hub.
Oh, good.
It's May the 4 be in you. Kay is Princess Leia and she's in a gangbang getting railed by Han, Lando, the Ewok, Wicket, and Luke too, so you get that popular incest scene.
Oh, yeah.
Is that on Disney Plus?
Yeah. So it changes porn to kittens?
I don't know. There's some big news here. There's a new Spawn animated series that's getting closer. Look at all the news coming back. Should we be hopeful that the country's opening up and all the news is coming back in? New Spawn animated series gets closer. What's that? I mean, have you ever seen the Spawn series on HBO?
No.
Dude, go back and watch that.
That's
yes.
The Hotel Nerd Network donated $20. Haskell 420 Snipes is not dead. Where did you hear that?
No.
A Donald Trump press conference?
No, Snipes is not dead. So this was McFarlane. Todd McFarlane came in and had a conversation. That was one of my that was a fun interview too, by the way. When I had we talked to Todd McFarlane on Collider Live. And he said, actually, years ago, we started a second go-round of it, and I still have all that work, and it includes all the voice recordings and everything. So I've got about 90 minutes of a show ready, teed up, ready to go. The only thing we need to do is the cell animation. Everything else has been designed. Obviously, we need to put some music and sound effects or something, but yeah, I've been sitting on a 90-minute version of it for a long time. I've just been waiting to launch the movie to say, hey, let's tumble this all out at the appropriate time, but hey, we'll get the animation done. Yeah. I would be down for that. I loved that. Oh, did I tell you? Did we talk about? I tell you I finished Waco. Did we talk about me?
I don't. Did you finish? No, you hadn't finished.
I finished it. I finished the overall Waco.
David Wilson donated $20. Deborah Chow is an absolute bad flowers. She's like if Sarah Connor decided to direct. Shit. Man, I'm stoned. Christian, do you still feel Vader should be in Obi-Wan? Do you think maybe those are the changes?
Could be. I mean, the original script, I was pretty confident was going to have Vader, but in the movie that was supposed to come out, but whether or not that's changed, maybe that was the conversation. I just think a lot of people want to see Darth Maul in it. It doesn't make sense, and especially if Filoni's involved, he's not going to retcon his own shit.
Yeah.
There's this. I mean, unless Darth Maul and Obi-Wan don't ever interact, and then maybe, but it doesn't. People are like, oh, they could retcon Rebels. Dave Filoni is not going to retcon Rebels. He'll retcon a novel because there's some stuff in the Ahsoka novel that is retconned in these episodes of Clone Wars, but it's not. He's not going to retcon his own shit in Rebels. There's no chance that he does that. unless they recreate what happens in Rebels. So that's something that's also possible. That if he does show up, maybe they recreate that whole scene. But I don't think. But that's not when the movie takes place. The movie takes place like 7 or 8 years after, Revenge of the Sith or something like that. But again, maybe these rewrites change the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm still excited about it because Deborah Chow is involved.
Yes.
When I hear that Deborah Chow is leaving the project, that's when I'm going to get concerned. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So I'm still, I still think that he's going to be in it, and again, without spoiling stuff, I think that you can put him in it, and where you don't need to rely on him. I thought Rebels did it a really good way. I thought Rebels did it in a very good way. I thought Rebels did it where you didn't need to rely on Vader in order to tell the story, but when he was there, and Filoni said as much. Filoni's like, we used Vader when we needed to use him to make an impact, and I think you can do the same thing with Obi-Wan. Okay. Back to this documentary, and the Schmobot is back on, everybody, by the way. So the documentary, it was cool. Also, what I read, I told you this, Ron Howard just got to be like, you could just tell Ron Howard as a dad. Like, there are certain dads that you just like Tom Hanks. You wouldn't want to piss off your dad. You'd feel like you're letting your dad down if you pissed off Tom Hanks. And I feel the same way with Ron Howard. That's when I realized that a conversation with Bryce Dallas Howard that she's having, that I would never be able to take my 8-year-old to a meeting with Kurosawa and George Lucas at a dinner meeting, because it would be, I'd be like, oh, she'd be running around or whatever she's doing. But she's 8. I can imagine at 5 years old, Ron Howard's taking Bryce Dallas Howard with Kurosawa and Lucas dinners. But watching her, and I think Favreau even said, he's like, we threw her in the deep end of the pool, man. We gave her this episode because I think a lot of people I don't think, it's funny. I thought Filoni did a great episode in the first one. My least favorite episode was the one the one with Hey Mando with the one that he did on Tatooine. That was my least favorite episode. Doesn't mean I think any less of Filoni. I actually think even higher him than I ever did before. I just don't love that episode. And Bryce,
that was more the character that you just.
It also had the Amy Sedaris stuff in it, and there was that episode to me was just like, I think that it's going to tie in because of what happens at the very end of that episode. I think that ties into next season. But that episode to me was the weakest out of all of them. I said it was fine and dislike it. I mean, it's like but I'll tell you what, people who are giving crap to the Bounty Hunter episode, the one with Bill Burr, rewatching and listen to I always mess his name up, Rick Famuyiwa. I always mess up his name, but
I was doing a talk. He's the director of Dope, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love listening to him talk. I love listening to him talk about his directing of the stuff with the Jawas, and then listening to that episode of what he did with the Bounty Hunters, and how he kind of co-wrote that. And they said it was a heist one, and even though Disney was like, this one's a little weird, and they're like, yeah. And watching that back, though, I loved that episode. I thought it was so great. The prison episode is awesome. It's so awesome. So anyway, so I'm hoping that you guys, first of all, and I know what they're waiting for.
The Hotel Nerd Network donated $20. Hey all, it's been fun, but I gotta check out.
All right.
Working on a special project for the network. Christian, if you want, I will make top 10 list of movies for each year from 70 present, and then you can use it to debate the strongest movie decade. Interested?
I don't know. I don't want you to do that, and then we don't use it, because then it's going to be then I'll feel bad that you've done all that work. But do it if you're going to do it for your stuff, then you should absolutely do it.
We did realize Friday most of our listeners are 32 years old.
I know, but from when
1988.
Yeah,
right?
It seems like it. But you know what they want us to do, and this is the problem we put ourselves in, because there's over 1,000 people watching at the moment right now, and yet we have 315 likes. I get it. I understand. I know what you want. All right. All right, everybody. May the 4th. Gonna get to 450 likes before we stop this, and then we get back into some stuff. 450. Need to get to 450 likes.
Yep.
320 right now. We need to get to 450. Can we get to 450? Gotta get to 450. If we do it, we're gonna talk about Jawas kicking the piss out of Twi'lek with a shoe. That happened last week. All right, guys. 371. Need to get to 450. Need to get to 450, and we'll get some other Star Wars stuff.
Mando, you want to hit the like button?
Oh, Mando will do it. Can you do it? 450. You know what? The hell with it. Let's get to 500.
Yeah, we're going 500.
Everybody hit like. Oh, we're at 334. We dropped a lot of likes. There you go. Fuck yourselves. All right, 3034. Gotta get to 500. Oh, the 436. Need to get to 500 to stop this bit. All right, everybody. 500. We're gonna get some more in. Let's talk about some more. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Oh, wait, we can't talk about that. Why? Because we haven't got 500 likes. All right, but at 452. What are we gonna get to do? What are we gonna do? All right, everybody get to 460. We're at 460. Can we get to 500? Need to get to 500 likes. Everybody got to get to 500 likes. We're at 462. Big 462. Looking to get to 500. Got to get 500. I like to headbutt my dog, and my dog headbutts me back. 466. 466. It's 410. Now we're at the 410. Now to get to 466. Got to get to 500. Everybody got to get to 500. We're at 500. We are at 500. We need a 418. We lost a lot of likes there for no particular reason. 469. Back to 469. All right, everybody. YouTube's fucked up. All right, everybody. 469. Need to get to 500. 482. 480.
I want to keep it at 469. But
482. 482. Go. 45. 45. Go. Need to get to 500. 15 away. 15 away.
People need to hit the dial.
Come on, everybody. Need to get back to those Star Wars conversations here on May the 4th. Can't do it unless you get to. We're at 493. Can we get to 500? Got to get to 500. Let's do. Someone said that Brett looked like he popped out of a few birthday cakes. All right, 498. 498 now. 500. Here we go. 500. Can we get to 500? 495. We're at the 495. We drop down. If we get to 500, did it. How great was that video, by the way? So there's a video, and I posted. Brett posted it also. So one of our great editors, Michael Aronson, had posted. He did this thing. He said, "Listen, I got a little surprise for you," and he animated this bad boy.
It's my pinned tweet, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay, yes. Yeah. It's amazing, and it has that animation, and it's the two of us on Hot Wheels, basically, and you hear the and it goes through, and it's you yodeling like a lunatic. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to pee really bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just put on some. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna leave you here by yourself. We're gonna go a quick timeout. I'm gonna pee, and while I'm doing that, head on over to streamlabs.com/schmodown. Put in what moments in Star Wars do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about certain moments in your movies? It's May the 4th. Let's celebrate. I wasn't going to do a full Star Wars episode, but why not? It's May the 4th. So if there's any particular episodes, anything in the Clone Wars you want to talk about, anything in Rebels.
Anthony Nugent donated $20.
There he is. Where you been?
They shout out to Call to Action in their stream from last night to help raise money for Craig. They raised over $1,800, and I think it's a bloody fantastic effort. My hat's off to them.
I love that.
On a side note, Hotel Nerd and Lawrence Lease, you're a cute couple.
That's really funny. Well, that's true. Anthony Nugent is the overall. He is the overall champ. He is the overall champ. Okay, listen, guys. So please go on over to streamlabs.com/schmodown. Start getting your questions in right now. I'm going to be back in like 2 minutes, and we will get all these questions answered. Start talking Star Wars. Give me 1 second. You know, I'll do this for you. Flausen and Flaus. Well done. Flausen.
I was gonna just do a whole. I didn't know you shut my mic off. I was gonna just talk.
I'm sorry, I didn't know
the whole time.
I was gonna. Yeah, I should have probably let you do that.
Talk about Animal Crossing and people
fine.
trying to get me to do Animal Crossing on Switch or Stitch or Twitch.
Yeah. It's. Thank you for waiting, everybody. Happy May the 4th, and we are back here on the Schmodown Entertainment. Happy May the 4th. Schmodown Entertainment Network here. Thank you to everybody out there for putting in these donations here. So we're going to get a whole bunch of them. We have a lot to talk about here on May the 4th. So once again, if there is anything that you guys want to talk about in particular with Star Wars, please, anything at all, put it on in there. Is there anything else in that doc that we missed, Brett? What were your overall thoughts on the doc?
I think I already said. I just felt like I was like, oh man, if I were a director, I'd want to direct with all of these guys, and B, I would love to be directed, and mostly I think Taika Waititi. Yeah. I would be like, oh please, that would be a dream.
Yeah, I think he could get the best out of you too.
Yeah, I think he would be really fun. But I mean, just what a great group. The whole table.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like, sometimes you watch these things and you can tell that people are just, going through the motions. Yep. And I didn't feel like they were going through the motions when they were talking. They really loved what they're doing, and they loved the project.
Jake Yacovetta, as a shout-out to Brad Gilmore, Roxy, Bateman, Ellis, Jay Washington, Sturger, Silvestrini, Smets, Kaiser, Shandrew, Roca, Riley, PJ, Parker, that rat fuck Ben Goddard, and everyone else who joined the Call to Action fundraiser stream for Craig the Barbarian last night. I'm so happy that you guys were able to do that. Amazing. So thank you for doing that and raising that money for Craig and his family. So that's awesome. Really awesome. I have to, and the other thing is David B. had sent me. David B. We're working on a theme song for the Barbarian, and it's really, really good.
I didn't see that. I don't know. Again, I kind of check out over the weekend with social media. I wish I would have been able to.
It's the same thing. It's hard. I try to get. We had a disaster of a night last night with the kids trying to put them. I can only imagine what it's like for your kids too. It's like it's stressful for kids right now, man.
Yeah, and they keep going like. They're giving us the same thing when we talk with their friends.
For what?
Yeah, why?
Yeah. It's lawless. Yeah, it's true. Bobcat Goldsworth birthday. Hey. Today is not Bobcat Goldsworth birthday. I think he's going to donate $1 every day until it is Bobcat's birthday. Myself. Hey, Brett, I'm reading this as if I'm reading someone's Streamlab message, but it's actually me talking, and I want to let you know that I got so fucking bored last night that I stuck a Q-tip in my dick hole.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I did not tell people to do this, by the way. This was not a.
Maybe you did when you were sleeping.
The ice bucket challenge, yes, but the Q-tip dick hole.
Not yet. All right, Rohit Raj. May the 4th be with you. My wife and I watched episode 1 today. It was her first time, and she didn't hate it. She just said it has bad acting, bad dialogue, but didn't even mind Jar Jar. I fell asleep for 10 minutes, to be honest. Already watched 4, 5, 6 last week. I actually watched. I was watching. I'll tell you, and I said this, and I'll say it again. Watching all these movies again with children really enhances it. It really does. I rewatched. So I've never been. I still think there's so many problems with Revenge of the Sith, and when you read the novel, like of how he becomes Vader and the internal struggle that he's having inside of his mind, it plays better in the written form than it does in the actual visual. And I think also not only watching it with my daughter the other night, but because of Clone Wars, I think Revenge of the Sith plays really, really well, much better for me now than it used to, because I look at it like another Clone Wars episode, and I think as a Clone Wars episode, it's incredible.
And I think what with the children is that they're more forgiving of certain things.
They're not paying attention to dialogue and story points.
And what's nice is that I think we kind of need to maybe dial it back a little bit. And sometimes, again, I liked the first Transformers movie because I just put myself as a 13-year-old. All I wanted to see was the Transformers. I didn't care what the story was.
See, that part of it I liked, but when Optimus Prime is tiptoeing around a house.
That was dumb. But just to see them in that form.
That part. I mean, the Transformers look incredible.
Yeah,
sound incredible too.
Yeah, and I came out with Leaf, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know, a lot of plot holes in that." I'm like, "But did you see when I went?"
Yeah. I just don't like Michael Bay. The Hotel Nerd Network put in a Schrobot. Thank you. So did Tim Sim. 1.21 Jelly Watts. Also put in one. Lawrence Lease put in 2. And Hotel Nerd put in another one. So did Scruffy Nerd Herder. Lawrence Lease. The Lawrence Lease and Hotel Nerd were going back and forth. PLD, may the 4th be with you, motherfuckers. Thank you too, my friend. Michael Rettingus, may the 4th be with you. Sign up for another coaching session this month. That's great. I'm excited. Christian, if you were in my shoes, what would you do to make a good impression to try and get a chance at the Schmodown? How would you prepare? Questions to ask, etc. Well, first thing I would do, look, here's one of the things I'm working on. And I've talked about it. Oh, my neck is killing me. I have talked about it, but I haven't put it into fruition yet. I really want to start an official minor leagues for the Schmodown. I think that putting it as like and I think at one point we were going to do like a fan tournament, but I think that if we kind of combine some of the things that we were doing, I know there's a Patreon run league that they do, and maybe combine some of those efforts with an actual fan league. It gets, because I'm always looking for new people, and always when there's somebody I just asked Robert Parker about the other day, somebody that I'm hearing about in the fan leagues, and I was like, well, there's so many different things, and plus, like I said, I also don't want the fan leagues to feel like, okay, well, I have these people that we have, and now they're gone because they went up to, because Robert Parker and Oyama and Chance, and it's like, well, if we create our own minor leagues, if you will, then it takes away that potential problem.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what I would say is, just keep on studying, and you'll make an impression with your teachers, and they let people know also, and then start playing in some of those fan leagues and potentially the minor leagues if we ever started up. Garth Harkis McMurray, all my friends and so many others are posting "May the 4th be with you" everywhere online. It's amazing. I didn't realize that the Schmodown had this many fans, much less all of these fans of the outlaw John Roca. He's a 4th round pick, but first in our hearts. Yes, it's true.
May the 4th round pick be with you.
Salivon Bako put in a Schmobot. Tavishka Productions, do you think they could have meshed the Bad Batch and Ahsoka's arc instead of blocking them together? Ahsoka's arc felt drawn out and could have been 2 or 3 episodes. I think that they might have been able to do a bit of a mix. Yeah, I thought once again, if this was in season 4 or season 5, I would have been totally cool with the amount of episodes that they did for it. But I think putting the Bad Batch episodes in 4 episodes, and then the Ahsoka run on lower level Coruscant, those other planets, the spice stuff, another 4 episodes. It only allowed us these 4 episodes, albeit great episodes. It only gave us those 4 episodes to really get into the juice of what the story was about. So, but again, it's Filoni's story to tell, and he told it the way he wanted to tell it. So hats off to him. Lawrence Lease also put Lawrence Lease, Damon's ass, and Patrick Killig put in a Schmobots. So did Jake Robles. And we should talk about Jake Robles' one. He said Nicolas Cage will be playing Joe Exotic in a TV series. I mean, where are the Tigers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where is Carol Baskin?
Like what you said, I don't know if I don't know if it was a good pick. I don't know.
It's a fun casting.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's proper. Yeah.
And this is a film that I don't think needs to be made.
No.
Because the real story, it was already just ridiculous, and what I don't know what you do. You make this 10 years later. You make the it's something.
You know why I think that they're doing it is because you can't assume. Even though a lot of people watch this thing, you can't assume. Some people just don't like those docuseries.
Yeah.
Some people just want to watch scripted stuff. And like you look at something. Look at how many docs there were on like Tonya Harding, right?
Yeah.
Tonya Harding had a movie about her.
But
it was years later. It was years later.
I think it's too
soon.
But again,
it's going to be like 2 years before it comes out.
Yeah, it will be.
It's not like they're going to put it out next week.
Yeah,
it's going to take at least a year or so before it comes out. So by that time, and you want to capitalize on it because in 2 or 3 years, who's going to give a shit about Joe Exotic? Maybe a year will still be okay.
I'm interested to see if it's going to be funny in the way that this one was, you laughed at them, or if they're gonna make it too funny, that you know, like try to make them.
I don't know. I will say again before we move on here. Waco was
Schmobot is off. Was that old Ben?
Oh,
sorry.
No, it's off. It's on now. Sorry guys. If the Schmobot came in, I turned it off when I went to the bathroom. If I missed any of your Schmobots, I'll read them. Sorry, it is back on now. Thank you, Ben. But Waco was intense. It's powerful. I watched. It's so tricky because you can read it either way. You don't know who to believe. You really don't. There's stuff that I'm not buying what the government, what the FBI is saying, and I'm not buying that everything was so hunky dory and that Koresh was just going to give himself up and all this. What I had mentioned on this show when I watched the first couple was I was kind of not concerned, but I was like, I don't know about painting him in this light of how he's almost like sympathetic or more approachable, or because he was a lunatic. But I read the director's comments and thoughts of why they approached it this way, and like, we approached it in the way that these Branch Davidians saw him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like how they saw him as this charming, and I saw him all this stuff too, because this guy was a fucking creep, man. He was he was from rumors like 10-year-olds this guy was sleeping with. Like he was a horrendous human being. But there were so many innocent people inside of that place. Now, whether or not you believe it was a mass suicide, or which the survivors say there was never any intent of that ever happening.
Yeah, they thought
like the Culkin kid plays this guy. What's it? Theobald? I can't remember the guy's name, but whoever he plays, that guy survived, and he says it was never the intent, and they had found gun-inflicted wounds for some of them that they found, right? But a lot of people think, the Branch Davidians think that the FBI put slugs in them to cover it up. But again, I don't know. You watch the way that this thing's overall portrayed. And Michael Shannon just proves to be one of the best out there right now. He's so good. The show it's great. It's really great. 6 episodes. You should watch it. It's hard. It's a hard.
A little intense, yeah.
It's a hard watch, but again, Taylor Kitsch, another guy that I think that in the way like Sam Worthington or these other guys that was thrown into the, hey, this is your next movie star, and everybody's like, no thanks. He has proven himself as a very, very solid actor in general. He was great in Lone Survivor. You know what he was great in that people always say in True Detective season 2, which is it's a shitty season. Colin Farrell's always talked about as the guy who is the best in the season, and I believe that, and I agree with that. Taylor Kitsch is also really good in that show. He's a really great actor, and he's really great in this as well. And he portrays that the way that directors wanted you guys to see Koresh. He portrays it very well.
Well, I mean, yeah, these horrible people or these people that start these things, they have to be charming in a way,
right?
Yeah,
well, yes,
you know, you're convincing people that you're God or whatever.
It was. Yeah.
Did you did you ever watch the Wild Wild Country documentary? Oh, you got to see that one. That's an actual documentary about this cult that like took over a whole town.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while. I don't know where it was, but I didn't. This happened in the '80s, and it seemed like it was all over the news, and I don't remember this happening at all.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's a really interesting one.
I mean, I remember Waco, but I the extent of everything that was going on inside of it and the reasons why, and like the idea, the fact that, like I said, like when they had an undercover agent inside of it, the reason they were tipped off is because one of the news crew got lost, and he was asking for directions, and he asked the directions, and a Branch Davidian was coming up, and he said to him, he's just like, what are you guys doing? He's like, we're following, and then as he's waiting there, he sees this car come through, and all the FBI agents are on the back, so he went up and he warned Koresh, and then the undercover agents, like, they know we're coming, let's get out, and they didn't turn around. And it's like, what are you doing? Turn around, do it at a different day. And yeah, it's a crazy story, and it's really done well. It was originally had, I guess, debuted on Paramount in 2018, and then Netflix picked it up and started running it like last month. So it's really good. You guys should check it out. I recommend it highly. Bruce Leroy, hey, speaking of stroking your kick, Kay Parker's movies are online and are always there during the lockdown. Thank you, Bruce. Michael Rettingus, I love the Mandalorian special. Really showed how all the directors worked together and brought their own thing to the project. It felt like each director worked closely, even when not directing, like a team. Favreau did an amazing thing putting this team together. I couldn't agree more. You could tell from the unit how they all worked together and the stuff that they did and the way that, and even when Bryce Dallas Howard kind of laughs and says like, oh, there was no support here, and she kind of just gives a smile and laughs.
Yeah.
There was you can tell that there was a really good camaraderie there. It felt like a team. It felt like a family, and that's why when I bring back that dinner for five thing that he used to do, like you felt it. And one of the funny things, by the way, and sorry, the Schmobot is back on. Someone else just asked me. It is on. Schmobot is on. Streamlabs.com/Schmodo. Favreau is and never has said that he was this encyclopedia of Star Wars. He said he was a fan and he loves it and he loves making it. But there's that. But you could see Filoni when he's talking to him about this particular. Filoni's so used to talking to like all the uber Star Wars nerds and about every little thing. And he's like, yeah, remember that tracking shot in Empire? And he's like, nah, it's a deep cut for me, bro.
I remember that. Yeah.
Michael Soto donated $20. First-time Streamlabs, long-time fan.
Thank you, sir.
What's up, you lunatics?
Hey.
Thank you for being the bright spot of my day always. Who would be your Mount Rushmore of Star Wars characters from the films? Come on, hit that like button, you shitwads.
Thank you, Adrian.
May the 4th be with you.
To you as well. I would say Luke, Leia, Han. Who's the 4th spot for me? I would go the Emperor.
Wow.
Oh, no, Vader. Can't forget Vader. Sorry.
Yeah, was it an evil Mount Rushmore, or was it a
no? It's just he just said Star Wars characters, so I can't forget Vader. So it's Luke, Han, Leia, and Vader. Those are my 4. How about you guys? You know that's something. Give me your and whatever. It doesn't have to be the Schmobot, but if you want to put your Schmobot in to read your Mount Rushmore, but also put them in the Streamlabs, and I'll read them all.
I have a special place in my heart for Yoda. Yoda would be up there.
Yoda's up there too. Yeah, but those are my 4. I don't know what you guys think. Michael Smith. Man, my balls are shaved, my pubes are trimmed, and ready to fucking rock this shit. Thanks to Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, my balls will never know another nick. Trivia moment. What movie is this quote from? May the 4th be with you.
Oh.
Not the 4th, the 4th? I don't know. Today's episode.
I like where you said Happy May 4th. You just totally screwed the whole.
That's it. Happy May 4th. Big Mo movie review. So he put in a Schmobot. So did the Hotel Nerd Network. He changed his name. Now it's harder to do. SB Stewart J, who also put in he put in the Schmobot that I then ended it with stroking. 50 Shades of Geek. Hey, Raring, can't watch this live because I haven't watched the final episode yet. Oh, it's not a spoiler, my man.
Yeah.
I hope you're all having fun. Christian, thank you and Merle for your kind words on my video last week. It means a lot. Thank you. Well, thank you. Your video was awesome. He did this video of the greatest Dan Merle moments with this song. It was really good. Really good. Tyler Gosha. My earliest movie memory is seeing Star Wars Attack of the Clones. When the movie was over, everyone in the theater was talking about Yoda and his lightsaber. People loved that moment, and I'd be lying if I didn't say at the time I thought it was really cool, but it also, going back, I don't think it makes much sense, but people love it.
Oh, really? What? Explain that to me.
He didn't need to be... Was it a cool moment to see him flipping around and fighting? Of course it was, but the whole point with Yoda, and you watch like Empire Strikes Back, is that he's kind of old and decrepit, but he doesn't need those kind of force big moments. He's just so powerful, and he's able to lift the X-wing out of it. He's not leaping around, and if he's so, why is he leaning on a cane? He's able to leap around and scream and do all these big movements with his lightsaber. I mean, I get it that he's supposed to be one of the most masterful lightsaber fighters of all time, and that's why. And he's battling Dooku, and he's able to do it, and it is a cool moment. There's no doubt about it to see it. And I was one of those people when I saw it in the theater. I was like, it's great, but it took away from the fact that this was that master kind of Miyagi guy that didn't need to do that.
He was too reserved for
that. He could have taken Dooku and just thrown him to the side, or used the Force, or caved him into something else with the. He didn't need to But for movie storytelling,
yeah.
I get why you need the moment. I understand it because it's like Anakin is not ready. Obi-Wan tried to do his thing, couldn't do it, and here's Yoda. You're not gonna. If you did what I said, that's it.
Boring.
No, boring.
Yeah.
I get why you had to
have him.
I get why you had to have it done. I just didn't like the moment. I just when you rewatch it. So,
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck man. It's true. It's true. All right, everybody, gonna head on back. A lot of great questions here, a lot of good Star Wars talk here today, so keep it coming for sure. Michael Rettingus, and I love Taika Waititi's view on Star Wars comedy. Yep, Christian, I feel like that's what you've been talking about with Star Wars comedy, how Star Wars doesn't take itself too seriously, but it believes in what they were doing, but can do. I butchered that. No, you're exactly right. That's exactly what I was talking about, and when I was watching that, I said to myself, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Star Wars humor.
Yeah.
From what they're talking about, you like. Because people always say, like, there's always been humor in Star Wars. Yes, you're right. There always has been. It's just because I always go back to, the fact that we don't have to get into it forever, but like there is more, like I think Marvel cinematic humor works for those movies because that's the way that was always set up, the way that they do it that way. It started to blend to me in both Last Jedi, and there was some of that in Rise of Skywalker also. Less of it, but there was some of it. And I didn't feel that in Mandalorian. So, one man's opinion.
Yes. I did appreciate the humor in there. Especially that first episode, I was dying with the, I don't know what they're, I don't remember.
Which one?
Is it a droid, the shooting one that Taika played?
IG-11.
I loved, I thought all of that was hilarious.
It was great. Yeah.
Up, hitting self-destruct. No.
Right. Right, because he's not cracking, because the droid, perfect example, because the droid isn't cracking jokes.
No.
The droid is just being him, but it's funny because it's like, because in that moment it's just an overall funny, or when he's sitting there with the Jawas and he's like, oh, and he goes to light him on fire. It's like it's like those moments where, to me, that was the perfect type. That was the same kind of Han Solo moment where he's just he's about we're fine, how are you?
Yeah.
In episode 4, and then he shoots the fucking thing. Like that's the kind of humor that I love in Star Wars. Shelby White. Just wanted to say thank you for suggesting Lost Stars. It was an amazing read. I loved that it started before Rogue One and went on past Return of the Jedi in its timeline. Even made It even made Force Awakens make more sense. Every Star Wars fan should read it. I've been screaming from the hills for everyone. If you want to read the best novel that has been written so far in the new canon is Lost Stars. There's no doubt about it. The Hotel Nerd again. Who put in a Schmobot. So did Marshall Weeks. The Hotel Nerd put in another one. Kay Parker's Agent. Hotel Nerd. David Wilson, who said that, I was talking about Deborah Chow, Hotel Nerd, and Anthony Nugent, who said, good day. Shout out to Call to Action. Their stream raised money for over 1,800 and think it's fantastic. Thank you, Anthony Nugent, for that one. It is absolutely fantastic. Going back and over to read. Sorry, guys. I have to refresh the actual thing. So this is Sir Lord Attenborough. Hey, guys, I hope you had a good weekend at the beach like all those crazies out in California. Didn't do that. Stupid people. In honor of May the 4th, what are your favorite Clone Wars story arcs? Mine are the Return of Maul, Ahsoka's Trial, and these last 4 episodes. I would say that the last, episode 11, is easily one of my favorite episodes in Clone Wars history. No doubt about it, even with recency bias. Absolutely. The tie-in was amazing. The Mortis episodes were great. The stuff with the introduction of Cad Bane was really good. There's some really great moments in Clone Wars overall. How about you guys?
There's the Obi-Wan sitch.
Yeah.
There's the
yeah, that's right.
R2-D2 Balderdash.
The Balderdash one. I remember the Balderdash one. That was good. Blade Hawk. Happy May the 4th. One of my favorite Star Wars scenes is the binary sunset scene in New Hope. John Williams' score gives me chill every time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like kind of the legendary, iconic one that people always talk about. So it's there's some great ones. Thank you, Blade, for the wonderful donation. Sorry, the Schmobot wasn't on when you put that one in there. Yeah, I think there's some good moments there. I think there's some really great moments in Rebels also that are pretty iconic. There's stuff with Kanan that, again, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. Haskell 420. Hey, gang, few thoughts. SEN episode 123 on the 4th. Stallone posted a Q&A answering the questions, and it was someone asked about how the 3 seashells worked. He said, imagine how chopsticks would work. Okay, I don't get it. On the on the Mando doc, the stagecraft is a game changer. Yes, it's true. When you see them inside in that dock, when you see them in the actual shift, there's some cool stuff in that dock when you're watching the actual directing of a lot of it. Yeah. The way, because it didn't seem like it was so like green screeny or blue screeny where it's just like these actors are probably going to be lost. It's like a lot of stuff was on location, but the stuff that they did do, they're building stuff in, and they had like the stars kind of around them. There was some cool shit.
Blake had popped in for a little bit of it, and he goes, "Man, it's crazy. Like all these like smaller characters have to get all dressed up and do these things like in the background." Yeah. And it was such an innocent kind of a thing, but it was just like, there's a lot of work that goes into doing this stuff.
It's true because you want to make it look real. Yeah, you want to see like a Jawa or somebody walk by and say it's part of because the eye is trained in the way that you don't pay attention to that stuff, right? But you are. Yeah. Like as you see these things that are happening in the background, it's like, oh, it's just Star Wars. But it adds to it. It adds to all of it. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps, Variety reporting Nick Cage is playing Joe Exotic in a Ryan Murphy Tiger King show. Oh, okay. Also, finished reviewing Waco. I just did. Yeah. Eric, as someone who grew up with the prequels, the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith was so epic and is still, in my opinion. The way the camera follows the Jedi ships as they flip around the Venator, and when you see the big battle over Coruscant, I love it. There are some great visuals in the opening. There's no doubt about it. My overall problems that I had with Sith that I get past are, just the dialogue. It's the strongest out of the three movies, but the dialogue's fairly weak, and the character arcs and changes are really abrupt and happen super fast. And certain things that I just wish, they would have developed a little bit more and worried less about some of the grand scale things. But like I said, when I went back and rewatched it as like a Clone Wars episode, it holds up pretty well. Big Mo. One of my favorite moments in Star Wars is the Anakin versus Obi-Wan battle on Mustafar in Episode 3. The music still gives me chills to this day. I want more lightsaber fights like we got in the prequels. Hopefully we'll get a Knights of the Old Republic movie. I think that for now, I would say the Knights of the Old Republic movie is a thing of the past. They know that they were contemplating it and talking about it, and they were Benioff and Weiss were going to do some stuff back in that potential era. But I know what they're doing with the High Republic, which could be interesting. I think that what they're going to do with the High Republic is this is going to be like the guinea pig. I think the High Republic is going to be, at this era, can they get fans interested? Will fans be interested enough in the High Republic? And the High Republic will serve, I think, the needs for what we want from the Old Republic. And if people really, really like it, then I think we're going to start seeing movies and television shows from that era. But it's a matter of whether or not it's supported and if it does well enough. Because if there's data that says, well, not enough people bought it, there wasn't, people didn't really care, it was too inside baseball, they didn't really want to do it, we shouldn't make a movie out of it. But if people start buying it off the shelves and they want to see it and they really like it and the reviews are really good for it, then you probably start seeing stuff more in that era. That's my personal opinion. Blade Hawk. Christian? I know you're a big soundtrack fan. You should check out Samuel Kim's music on YouTube. He has remixes of Star Wars music that are pretty awesome. Thanks for all you do. A lot of people have told me about Samuel Kim, and I believe, PLD, let me know if I'm pretty sure that's the guy you sent me, because I did listen to at least 15 minutes of what you sent me, and I thought it was phenomenal. And I said, I'm going to go back to that, and I need to go back to it. But I'm pretty sure that's what you sent me, and it was great, if that was the same guy. JS, that Blade Runner score at the end of the real feeling of dread and weight they were able to convey with the characters what Star Wars should be, not the fluffy, no substance, always universe-ending nonsense. Scale down and use character. Blade Runner 2049 it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Clone Wars did very well, and I think that's what Blade Runner did very well, that I thought that the movies kind of lost touch of that. That's the problem sometimes that movies in general, not just Star Wars, run into. Big budgets, all these huge budgets that you feel like you have to put spectacle over substance, and you think that it's just Star Wars. They just want to see lightsabers and blasting and explosions and Death Star. That's not what Star Wars fans want to see. They want to see a lot more than just that. They want to see more than just tons of ships blowing things up. They want to see the substance and the arc of the character. That's why people were so excited about Luke's arc throughout this whole entire thing, and why people are so invested already in the Mandalorian, the way that he's introduced and the people that he's meeting across
and you have more time to tell a story.
Yes,
you can.
Yep, that's exactly right. Adrian Michael Sato with a great Schmobot, thank you. And Coco Cams, I understand that this final season of Clone Wars was a Rex Ahsoka arc, but in the style of the last 4 episodes, I would have liked to seen the kidnapping of Palpatine and the beginning of the Battle of Coruscant, referencing the 2003 animated series. Yeah, you know what? I actually thought that's a great point. I thought that they were going to do that also, but maybe they did it, maybe they did it and they didn't want to rehash that, and again, it's not the story Filoni wanted to tell. We know how much he loves Ahsoka and what he wanted to do with Ahsoka, and I also think it sets up for people because the other thing is, I wonder how many people now that have just tuned in this season to see what Clone Wars was all about and see what this Ahsoka character was all about for the first time, right? Now going back and revisiting what she's going to do, plus the fact that when Rosario Dawson is introduced as Ahsoka, it's going to have more meaning to you now, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like that's the kind of thing that I think that's why that was brought out there. Sir Lord Attenborough, my Mount Rushmore Star Wars characters are Obi-Wan, Vader, Yoda, and Leia. Also, can we agree that Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie since the OT? Mandalorian is the best product since the OT, but I say Rogue One is better than Solo and the sequel trilogy. Agree? I wouldn't have agreed with you, but I will say that I will put Rogue One slightly ahead. I like Force Awakens better, but I think Rogue One is the better Star Wars movie. That's
who hates Rogue One? Is that Ben?
Ben Goddard. Yeah. I think a better Star Wars movie is. There's no doubt. Rogue One is Mandalorian, Clone Wars, Rebels, the original trilogy, the prequels, and Rogue One all fit into, to me, I was going over this with my brother yesterday, because my overall thoughts in Episode 9 is that I don't hate it. I've seen that one more. I didn't realize I've seen that movie 4 times. Oh, wow. Right? I saw it the first time. I saw it at the premiere. Then I saw it the next day with Kate Mulligan because I wanted to rewatch it and see it. Then I saw it with my daughter. And then I watched it with my wife again because she wanted to see it. And what I realize is the way that I look at Episode 9. I feel that Episode 9 is a fun kind of Halo fan film. It's the way that I look at it. That I enjoy watching. I think that it's like if someone, like, there have been really not great Legends novels. I feel like somebody took one of those Legend novels that were kind of far-fetched and adapted it for a movie. JJ was like, I really love this. This is kind of silly. Let's make this.
Yeah.
And that's what they made. And I don't mind watching it. Do I think it's great? No, I don't think it's a great movie. I enjoy watching it more than I do Episode 8. I think Episode 8 is a better made film. But I think that Episode 9 to me was just it's more fun. It's more hollow. There's no doubt about it. But I just, with these movies now, I kind of look at them as they do connect. They are their own thing. But I would just say I'm very happy that television exists now. Yeah. Because that's, to me, the stuff I've been looking forward to as a Star Wars fan in general.
I've heard so many complaints about Episode 9 that I'm like, push that out. Let's go into it. Like,
just have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I think that, like, again, casual fans and it can just, like, my wife was fine with it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's just like where for me, the connectivity and everything that I've been kind of hoping for, and the kind of what that. The viewer who just said about us having like the arcs and all that stuff, I have that still. That's the other thing that for Star Wars fans, you still have stuff of what you're looking for in the content. So if you don't like the stuff that happens in the movies, go watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
There's other stuff. There's a lot of other things that you can find. Okay. Let us see. So John Wheeler says, so what is more Star Wars, Episode 8 or Episode 9? It depends, though, John. It depends because, like, again, what's more Star Wars to you might not be Star Wars to me. Like, that's the beauty of Star Wars. Star
Big
Wars.
Mo Movie Review donated $20. I rather have KOTOR as a series, actually. Plus, I think with KOTOR they can actually have a great story plus bad kitten lightsaber battles. I just want the perfect balance. May the 4th be with you.
You know, this is the kind of comments that, like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that makes no sense. So this guy that's coming down. Well, first of all, how much you actually want to take this guy serious in general? His name is Coming Down Rosamund's Pike. He said Harlow's not a real Star Wars fan. He's a fan of the original trilogy. That's inaccurate. I'm a fan of all the Clone Wars series. I'm a fan of all the Rebels series. I'm a fan of Rogue One.
You read
I'm
the
a fan
books.
of the books. I'm a fan of the comics. So it's a stupid comment, but the point is, and just for this anyway. Here, see you later. The point is that to the other person is that there is no what's more Star Wars to me. There's more Star Wars stuff inside of Episode 9 than there is in Episode 8. Someone like Ken Napzok feels the exact opposite. No one's wrong. No one's wrong. No one's right. No one's wrong or right. It's to you. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about like what it spoke to you as a fan? Like when you actually watch it, what do you think? Like that's what Star Wars always should be. So that's it. Yeah.
Do you envy my casualness sometimes?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that. I'm like, I had fun. They're fun movies.
But it's also, so someone asked on my I posted a picture because I had posted a picture of myself like reposting it, and there was when I went to it was an event and I took a picture with Filoni and I posted it and was talking about the actual Clone Wars and just like a minor review of what it was on there. And someone asked, like, well, are you going to start doing weekly Star Wars shows? And I was like, no, it's just not. I don't really want to do that anymore. He's like, why? And I was like, it's just not funny anymore. And like a comment like that, like that's kind of the reason why, because it's like you can't win in general. It's like I'm going to talk about the Clone Wars. I'm going to do my review of the whole overall series and review it because I want to talk about like what I saw and all this stuff because I was a huge fan of the Clone Wars series and I thought it wrapped up really nice. But like weekly dealing with like that kind of stuff, it's like it's like because. You can watch Star Wars and either like it or not like it, however you want. You're allowed to do it however you want. I think that's what people lose sometimes, for sure.
You're not going to not talk about it. You just don't want to do a full show.
It's doing a weekly show. It's just like because I don't want to be told that you only like the original trilogy. What are you talking about? It's just talking about the entire fucking Clone Wars series. It's like. It's beyond exhausting.
When you did it, was there a lot of stuff that was just like there were people telling you, no, he's wrong about this?
Not initially. Not initially. Initially, some of the most fun stuff I ever did was Far, Far Away in the first couple of seasons of Jedi Council. Like that was the most fun I ever had, like doing broadcasting in general. When it was really fun to talk about. And then I think it was after. I don't know if it was after Last Jedi or right around that area. It felt like I was doing a political show. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is awful. I don't want to do this. And like I didn't lose any love for the material itself. Just talking about it, I was like, ugh, this feels dirty now. I'm like, and it had nothing to do with the fans that really loved it, but it was in general. It was like because even the fans that because someone said, well, don't you like talking about fans that love it? It's like, yes, but even those fans sometimes will turn and say like this, like, you don't really love Star Wars because I didn't like what you liked.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like so like for that particular thing, I'm like, I don't. It's just not necessary. So anyway, let's get back on over and let's talk to you guys. Streamlabs.com/theschmodon. The Schmobot is on. We will now talk to who's
That's
next?
That's a long name.
Yeah, DB. Scruffy Nerf Herder. No, we did. Oh, sorry. I lost it here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I apologize. The Mount Rushmore, we did that one. Viewmaster Reactions. I love what you guys do. Who saw Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn in AC when you were at Collider? I'm the guy who saw Ricky Walton Vaughn in AC while you were at Collider. Oh, that's awesome. I have a YouTube channel, 5,000 subs, and never seen Clone Wars. So I started putting up episode reactions, getting
Jedi
one episode
Ben Reiner
out.
donated $20. Hi guys, happy Star Wars Day. To me, Rise of Skywalker was a good standalone movie, a solid sequel to Force Awakens, weekend of the trilogy, and a horrible end of saga, but I could still have fun with it in all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is like you should, if you liked watching, you had fun with watching it, then that's exactly right. It's like, it's you watch the movies how you want to watch them, and you enjoy them however you want to enjoy them. If you watch it once and you never watch it again, then whatever. Who cares? It's like, have fun with it, and you like Star Wars the way you want to like Star Wars. You like whatever stuff is that you want to watch, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed about it, and you shouldn't feel like the whole point. You should never feel like you're being bullied for your opinion on it. It's just silly. All right, going back on over to SB Stewart. Hey, Ring, my earlier message wasn't read by the Schmobot because you just turned it off. I think I got it. I think I got it though, didn't I? When I went back to it, I think that let me make sure. SB Stewart. Yeah, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Oh, okay. That's right. This is
that one played.
No, it didn't. This is that was the Jedi one. This is the Sith one.
Big Mo Movie Review donated $20. Harloff, I felt the same way. I stopped talking about Star Wars for that reason. Everyone's got an opinion, but no one wants to have a conversation without saying you're not a Star Wars fans if you didn't agree with their opinion. I love them all, period.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. Look, the bottom line is that people are passionate about it in general, and it's a good thing. It's good that people are passionate about it and enjoy it. So again, people should enjoy it however they want to enjoy it, and they should also be able to share their feelings however they want to. Didn't like it, great, and have respectful conversations on it. That's the only thing you kind of hope. But the SB Stewart J said, "Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The meaning of podcast shall set me free." But that's the Sith mantra. The first one was the Jedi mantra. That's the Sith mantra. All right, now we get back on over to Garth Harkus McMurray. I put in the K Parker's agent Schmobot, and I didn't know that the Schmobot won't say that P word rhymes with horn. It's funny hearing what it won't read because of settings, but people get creative and spell words differently to get them said. It is funny how people have mastered the Schmobot.
They've started doing bad kitten or so. There's something with kitten that is replacing.
Yes. PLD, so much of the Clone Wars is amazing. Hondo Anaka, to me, is underrated. I agree with you. Great Star Wars humor. Love his interaction with Kenobi. Everyone who loves Star Wars music should look up Samuel Kim, so I guess that is the one. He orchestrates and makes movement out of all SW. Williams and Kiner. Yeah, I have to go and check him out because this is the one that I have to listen to the one you sent me, PLD. I loved what you sent me, for sure. Sir Lord Attenborough, since we're getting a live-action Ahsoka series, what story arc would you like to see told in a new what story would you like to see told in a new animated series? I'd like to see them explore new canon post-Rise of Skywalker as KOTOR as an animated series. Thoughts? You know what? If you're not going to give me an Old Republic series live action, give me one animated. I agree with you there. I think animated would be a lot of fun to see, and maybe doing the Knights of the Old Republic animated. That could be fun. Andrew G. I love how they ended Clone Wars. I wish I liked Rebels more. I liked a few episodes here and there, but as someone in the animation industry, I couldn't I couldn't stand the change in design and the animation compared to Clone Wars. Yeah, it's funny is that to hear you say that, a lot of people that I talked to that were into animation, like really heavily or worked in animation, saw the change. The only time I saw the change was in like the first episode when we saw the Wookiees looked really weird, but then they changed it.
Within this last season, you're saying?
Rebels. In Rebels season 1, you see the clear change in the animation. There's like a scene where Kanan takes out his saber for the first time, and right before the Wookiees look really strange. But then I got over it. I never really noticed it. But I don't work in animation. So PMB87, and there you have it. Damon's ass is wiped clean. Please tell Roka he'll never have me. All right, we'll let him know. Big Mo, who says I'd rather have KOTOR as a series, actually. Plus, I think you could have a great story plus badass lightsaber battles. I just want the perfect balance. May the Fourth be with you. Yeah, Mo, I'm with you, brother. I think that it could be a lot of fun as a series, but I just don't know if they're going to explore it. And I think that my problem is I feel like they don't think enough people would like it besides the hardcore fans, and I think they couldn't be farther away from the truth. Sir Lord Attenborough, there's no right or wrong when it comes to what is more Star Wars. Yep, there's something for everyone. Yep, it is for everyone. I love the pod racing scene in The Phantom Menace. I love the Obi-Wan detective arc in Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith is great, in my opinion. Let people enjoy Star Wars how they want to. I couldn't agree with you more, my man. Jedi Ben Rayner. Happy Star Wars guys. To me, Rise of Skywalker was a good standalone movie, solid sequel to Force Awakens, weekend to a trilogy, and horrible end of a saga, but I could have fun with it and all the Star Wars movies. Philly G, good afternoon, Brett and Christian. Christian, have you ever listened to Shadows of the Empire by Joel McNeely, based off the novel? Love what you guys do. I have never listened to it. I'm obviously very aware of the story, but no. Oh, by the way, one of the things, speaking of which, Prince Zizor, who's one of the biggest kind of legends characters of all time, pretty sure he makes an appearance in Clone Wars. In the which episode was it? I forget which episode it was in this last arc. So pretty sure he makes an appearance in a hologram. Big Mo, Put in a Schmobot, and Sir Lord Attenborough. What is the first piece of music that comes to mind when you think of Star Wars? Mine is Yoda's theme. It gives me all the feels and brings back memories of watching Empire Strikes Back with my late father. That's why I love Star Wars. Thanks for everything, guys. I mean, it's hard not to say like the original theme, but the Force theme for sure, Yoda's theme, Leia's theme, absolutely, yeah. Those are good ones. Thanks for sharing that moment with us, Sir Lord. Jeremiah, the great Jeremiah Morris.
Hey.
Hello and happy Star Wars Day. My two favorite moments in Star Wars are the scene where Luke doesn't turn on the Death Star and Luke facing off against Kylo. The Last Jedi was everything I didn't want going into it, but now it's my second favorite movie. That's my point. Like, everybody watches Star Wars movies and has a different reaction to it, and you're not right or wrong for having any reaction that you want to have to it. Gonna get to super chats here because we missed them. Ryan C, the final shot of Clone Wars is perfection. It's pretty badass, and I'll get into it a little bit more in the spoiler review. Jokester954, I heard Fife mention Twitch raids on Backstage. You can do that on YouTube also. Raid Roxy or Roca or Campia when you guys end today. I don't know what that is. What are raids? Tell me what that is. Becoming Rock. Nick Cage is going to play Joe Exotic. Shut up and take my money. Spunkus. Wow, that gave Taika a Star Wars movie. Let's get it. Yep. Pineapple Penis. There you go.
Oh.
Hey, Brett, let me get that jacket. People like that jacket.
Yeah, stole it from my brother.
Nice. Ian loves movies. Hey, guys, I just watched Friday Night Lights for the first time, and Tim McGraw blew me away as the alcoholic father. Are there any performances from musicians that you unexpectedly loved? I think... Oh, you know who was really, really good was Adam Levine in that movie Beyond. What the hell was it called? It had Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley. You guys know the movie I'm talking about? What was the name of that movie? They're going to tell me in a second because I can't remember. Beyond something, or I'll know the second I see it. But Adam Levine was actually really good in it. Begin Again. That's what it was called. Begin Again. Yeah, he was really good. Yeah. So you said that 20 minutes ago, and we're still waiting.
Tom Waits says...
What did I say 20 minutes ago?
Oh.
He said, Mr. Ang said you said that 20 minutes ago, and we're still waiting. About what?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Because if there's something I missed, then tell me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it was. Tell me what it was, Mr. Ang.
Tell me now.
Yeah, tell me now. Come on.
But yes, Tom Waits, I think, is a good singer that's has fun roles.
Yeah, he was good in that. What the hell was it? Seven Psychopaths. He was really good in also.
And he has great music. I love it.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what. I don't know what Mr. Ang's talking about.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Andrew G says it wasn't Zizor. It was Zayton Moj. Was that confirmed? Yeah, it's too bad. It looked like Zizor. Damn it. Fots.
I don't know what that
sentence
know what that means. Was pure
gibberish to you, huh? Fair. It was referring to something else you said, not related to. It was referring to something else, not you. Oh, okay. That's fair. All right. Going back on over to Ian Loves Movies. Thank you. Joshua Riddle. We have what we have with Disney Star Wars. I think a good arc would have been Leia turning to dark side in episode 8, joining Ben versus Luke, Obi-Wan's kin. Yeah, it's everyone's going to have their own fan fiction inside their own heads. Other people get to make it and put it on screen. Pineapple Penis, I hate the superiority complex some Star Wars fans have. I hate the prequels, but I actually like to see others enjoying them. I love The Last Jedi, but I respect the criticism that doesn't stem from racism and sexism. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's what I've never understood the hatred that comes out of people when it comes to this stuff, whether it's this or Marvel or DC or any of that stuff. I never understood the pure hatred that comes out.
Any super fandom can be
I know, I just
vile at times.
But I never understood it. I never understood like it's still it's all like the point is like being able to watch and enjoy an escapism and being having fun watching these movies. I never understood the need to knock people down because they either didn't like what you liked or they liked what you didn't like, or they didn't like what you liked. I never got that.
I'll tell you, that was the most hate I ever got was when I was doing reviews on the Schmoes Know show. Yeah. Because if I didn't like something that you loved,
I know I never never understood it. But it is what it is. And now Algergon Radish. I fell out of love with Star Wars with the prequels, but The Mandalorian relit my flames with its true matinee feel. It also made me feel like a kid watching it and reset my way of watching. I now love all the films and the Clone Wars and Rebels. Good, that's awesome, man. Good for you. I'm glad that was able to do that for sure. Andrew G. It's also pronounced Shizor. To you, Andrew G. It wasn't. Oh, he said it. And now I think that's it. I think that's everything. So, thank you to everybody who donated today on May the 4th. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else let me look at these other things here on the actual newsy news.
Anything else drop?
There might have been. So Taika, obviously Stallone. We did the Vin Diesel stuff. Vader Immortal is coming to PlayStation VR. That's cool. All right, Vader Immortal was really. I got to finish that. I played the first 2 chapters. No, first chapter. Have you played?
No, the VR. Our friends, Leaf. They have the VR, and we had just started having family gaming nights, and I'm like, whoa!
Yeah, this is really awesome though. It's a lot of fun. CBS ditches the Lincoln Lawyer series plans. Why?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Quick news: Superman, Noah. Ben and Mandalorian. Let's see what the quick news is, everybody. This is animated Superman. So let's see what the... So Superman Man of Tomorrow. Darren Crisis will voice Superman. Zachary Quinto, Lex Luthor. Alexandra Daddario is Lois Lane. Ryan Hurst is Lobo. And Brett Dalton is Parasite in the upcoming DC animated film Superman Man of Tomorrow from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. It's going to be on digital, HK, Ultra, and Blu-ray sometime this summer. And we have a Mandalorian. The Mandalorian animation supervisor, Hal Hickel, has confirmed that post-production is continuing on the Disney Plus series with a ton of VX to complete. He says a big tentpole summer film like The Avengers might be around 2,000 visual effects shots, and these series are a little shy of 4,000 visual effects shots for Season 1, and Season 2 is no different. We're doing them in around the same amount of time, maybe even less time than a big summer film, plus we all have to work remotely. Well, that makes sense, because this is essentially a 6 to 8 hour film as opposed to 2.5 hour film. So that would make sense that there's that many more. Although I do wish that the Mandalorian, and it's one of the criticisms I had about this last episode was only like 23 minutes.
Bigger
40 minutes would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice too.
But and I think that I really would like to see Mandalorian be at least 45 minutes an episode.
They are a little short.
They're short, but it's also why you leave them wanting more. I understand. I get it. Anything else here? I'm going to check. I'm going to see if there's anything else. If not, we'll call it a day early today. But if there's anything else you guys want to talk about in regards to Star Wars, May the 4th, any of that. Now let me see. I'm going to see what this. I'll see what this ranking is. So, again, this is a list that they have on Collider right now, and it's a ranking of every Star Wars movie. Now, again, this is his list. I'm probably not going to agree with this list, but I'm going to. I will read this list, and I will say this is from Adam Shitwood. So, my last one, my Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace would be my last. So, Number 11 for him is a Phantom Menace.
Okay.
All right. Now 10, Attack of the Clones. Same page so far.
Look at that.
Same page so far. I bet you for his number 9, he has Rise of Skywalker. I wouldn't have it that low, but I bet you that's what he has. 9, no, Solo, Star Wars Story. I'd have Solo a little higher than that. 8, he has Skywalker. Okay. All right.
Pretty close.
All right. 7, Revenge of the Sith. Is not too bad so far. 6, Rogue One. All right. Okay. 5, Return of the Jedi. 4, The Force Awakens. 3, The Empire Strikes Back. All right, you lost me. You lost me. 2, The Last Jedi, and then 1, New Hope. Again, his list. But I would say for me, I would go number 1 is Empire. Number 2 is New Hope. I'd switch back to where number 3 is Return of the Jedi. I would go 4 is Force Awakens. 5 is Rogue One. 6 is Revenge of the Sith. 7 is Rise of Skywalker. 8 is Solo. What I missed? Did I miss something? I missed something. 9 is Last Jedi. 10 is Attack of the Clones. No, excuse me. 10 is Phantom Menace, and 11 is Attack of the Clones. That's my list. But what's your list, everybody?
Give us your list.
What's your list? And I think that's it on this side of things.
I really enjoyed Rogue One, and because it was a different story for me. Again, it's like how I like Ant-Man, how I like Guardians. It was something where I had no knowledge of the characters or anything, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And you like that one too? You
Rogue
don't
One?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rogue One is a very it just feels a little it to me it connects to the Star Wars that I kind of knew.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty well done Star Wars movie. Okay. So guys, people want to know your list. Do you have a list?
My list?
Yeah.
It's an order of how they're supposed to go in.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I can't. Again, watching it with my son totally changed my outlook of the prequels, and I think again, I'd like.
You just like them. Well, someone asked me as far as where the Clone Wars movie goes on this list. If you're adding that, I would put it ahead of. I watched it again recently, and because I know of everything else the way it ties in, I actually put it right around the Last Jedi area, right around there, either before or right afterwards. Happy birthday to the Queen of Corruption, Shannon Barney. Just got that also.
Happy birthday.
There you go. All right, everybody. Hey. Listen, great show today. Thank you for joining us. Happy day. May the 4th. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. The whole damn thing. Appreciate it. Once again, if you didn't know, and you're just joining us here,
get it.
That design is still available. It'll be available for only 4 more days, but you got to go on over. If you haven't signed up for the Schmodown Insiders, please do that. That will allow you to know anytime we come up with new designs and all these things that are coming out. But you can get this one. The description, the link is in the description below, so check that out.
And my pin tweet, and guys, my following has not gone up or down in any way.
At all?
Yeah.
You don't ever plug it.
It's hovering. So maybe go retweet my
or follow
tweet.
Brett. Follow Brett.
Follow me. Maybe I'll be more active.
Yeah, you should be. All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for joining us here today on the show. Enjoy you the rest of your day. Have a good time. Be good to each other. Later.